Chapter 30. You play dirty, Baroness Rage. Has anyone ever told you that? Janet grumbled, reaching for her water. It's come up before, yes. She replied dryly. Are you sure that you eliminated all the people who might have recognized what he was that night? Jonah questioned, looking at a message on his phone. There was a demon there, but its master and I have an agreement. It won't say anything when it comes back to life. Everyone else we took care of. He grunted and showed the screen to his wife before turning it off. Then news of him got out some other way. That was the rest of the council asking if you truly did have a son who was an unregistered pater generantus. Sorry, Eleanor Jason, but they already know about him. It looks like someone told them this morning after we had already left. Eleanor cursed. How will this change things then? We won't know until we speak with the rest of the council. Some may see reason, while others may believe he is too great a prize to pass up. In which case, even your reputation won't protect him. Finishing the bonding process between the two would be best. How far along are they? Janet finished hopefully. They only started last week. The words caused an obvious deflation in the older woman. However, they are extremely compatible and have been making quick progress. Lead with that next time. I'm getting old. My heart can't take that kind of abuse. Please, you're never going to die, you old bat. Besides, you don't look a day over 50. Eleanor retorted. Kaitlyn, how far along do you think the two of you are? I'm not sure, maybe a third of the way there, a little less. She answered uncertainly. So, in the best-case scenario, you need another 2 weeks? Chantel asked her. She nodded hesitantly. 3 would be best, but yeah, something along those lines, I think. I'm just judging off how our energy is mixing. In case you've forgotten, there wasn't any information on this process available. We're both just fumbling around in the dark here. We could be doing things in an extremely inefficient manner, or even all wrong. Does it feel right at least? Eleanor prodded. I guess it's happening naturally, alongside our practice sessions. Janet sucked in a breath. You weren't kidding before when you said they were compatible. If all they are doing is practicing and still forming their bond, that might be an understatement. Chantel grinned. We told you. The sound of a muffled ringtone cut her off as Eleanor scrambled to pull her phone from her pocket. Everyone quiet. She waved their protests down and accepted the call. Maimon, I was expecting you to reach out to me a day ago. What happened? She pressed the phone tight against her ear, her face growing steadily more red with every passing second. Are you sure that's the route they want to go down? She nodded. No, I appreciate the heads up. Say hello to Lily and the kids for me. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye. How's Lily doing? Chantel asked, skirting around the main topic of the phone call. You could call her, you know? Phone reception isn't that bad down there. True, but I only knew her through you. It never felt right to call her, after everything that happened. Eleanor spun the phone between her fingers and sighed. You should have called her. She's lonely down there. Anyway, we can talk about that later. Right now, we have a bigger problem that we need to deal with. The demons have decided to not side with anyone in this coming fight with Oberon. I sense a but coming. There usually is with them, Jonah said wryly. Yup, and it's mainly so they can play both sides of the field this time. Apparently, they didn't like not being able to do what they wanted last time. It was too restrictive to their chaotic natures. Wait, Aunt Lily and Uncle Amar are demons? Jack knew they weren't actually related, but it's what the duo had always wanted to be called when they came to visit. Which wasn't often. The last time had been a couple of years ago by that point. Yes, and Yoseel nearly unraveled during their last visit. I haven't been able to risk inviting them back ever since. They aren't mages. There was a little more wiggle room for other beings to be around you, especially when you were younger. Of course that began to change as you grew older, and the seal weakened with age despite my efforts. It would have failed at some point, no matter what. She cracked her neck and sighed. It's probably for the best it happened now. I always wondered why they never visited again. Does that mean Aunt Lily can't come to visit us now? Penny asked, holding onto her father. Her memories of the woman were a little hazy, but they were still there. I'm not sure. A Mayman said he'll keep his people as uninvolved in what's coming as possible. If orders come from higher up though, that won't be possible. Jonah sighed and stood, offering his wife a helping hand. This visit has given us more to think about than we originally anticipated. We'll need some time to decide how to proceed in regard to Jack and our granddaughter. We'll let them know of our decision regarding the territory dispute and about Oberon's reappearance. Janet took his hand and stood beside him. Just know that his existence changes everything. Now that they know about Jack, the odds of them accepting your terms to be left alone as a neutral zone have all but vanished. I would start thinking about what else you might want. I'm sorry, Eleanor. I know this isn't how you wanted things to turn out. No, they aren't, but it doesn't change that I'm not opening the borders of my domain anytime soon. The council needs to prepare for war with Oberon and whatever else is coming, not worry about taking my son from me. Some of the old council might have agreed with you on that, Jonah said, walking to the front door. But that's not how the council is run anymore. I guess Oberon will win this time then, because I'm not going to get lucky a second time. That's all that happened that first time. I got lucky and caught him unawares. Eleanor opened the door and led them out. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow. A few minutes later, the house was empty, save for the normal members of their family. Does it seem like they weren't really taking the Oberon threat seriously to anyone else? Jack wondered. I mean, you made him out to be this big bad guy, and they brushed it aside like he was the villain of the week. It's odd for sure. I don't know if they're not taking me seriously or just plain don't believe me. Eleanor clapped her hands. Either way, that's enough of that. I've done what I can. Everything else is on them. It's time to eat. Are you going to train Penny after dinner, Mom? Jack asked as they crowded into the kitchen. That was the plan. Why, did you need something? No, I was just checking to see if you were going to need more help downstairs later is all. They loaded us down with homework again today. We got off light last week, and now they're making up for it. There is something else that both of you need to start finding time for, their father said, his fork twirling around the pasta noodle. You both know that I have been training for a while now. They nodded. Each of them had seen the results of his efforts just the other day. Well, I mentioned to Jack that I wanted to start training him each weekend to get him a little more prepared. Then I talked things over with your mother, and we decided that you both needed to start training. You need to know how to defend yourselves in case something like this happens again. Penny might have the option of using her magic in the future, but as we saw, magical fire will keep burning for a long time. If she ever makes a mistake, then an entire building could go up in flames. Then there is Jack, who we still have no idea what will happen when he bonds. He may have access to magic, he may not. We just don't know. Am I really that dangerous? Penny asked in a small voice, her fork dropping onto the plate. Your fire is sweetie, just like mine is. However, with great enough control, it's no longer a problem unless you want it to be. Jack lazily spun his fork on a single tine. I'm guessing you're mentioning this because you came up with a different plan than before. When were you thinking of having us do these sessions? I can start your training tomorrow night after I get home from work. I'll need to pick up some equipment on my way home. I'll decide if we're going to with something more freestyle or structured like Taekwondo then. All three of you will start going with me to the shooting range again on Saturdays as well. That's going to keep us really busy. Jack finished lamely. He guessed he wouldn't be finishing any video games for the foreseeable future. I know, sorry, but this is how things are going to have to be if we want the two of you to be prepared. We should have started you both in self-defense classes years ago, but didn't. Jason cracked his neck. I don't expect you to turn into world champions or something overnight. I just want you to be able to protect yourselves if something happens. That's all. Yeah, I think we get that, Dad. Eleanor changed the topic of conversation after that, lifting the atmosphere around the table considerably. Jack absently twirled his pencil around his thumb and fingers while he studied. He was making decent headway on the first of the subjects when a call from Kaitlyn came in. Hey, you decided you needed help with homework after all. He joked. What? Oh, maybe I'm not sure yet. I've been working on the math section, which I can do just fine. No, I wanted to talk to you about something I just overheard. He pressed the phone closer to his ear and quickly glanced at the closed door. Okay, what's going on? The council doesn't believe that Oberon is back. They think it's all a ploy. He inhaled sharply. A ploy that's backed up by your family, as well as the demons? Yup, and Jack? Yeah. They just declared war on your mother for hiding you. They're coming to get you and take the territory away from her. He cursed. I've got to tell my mom. Don't worry about it. My mom is talking to her right now. How did this happen? What changed between this morning when they learned of me and now? My grandparents reported in. She told him softly. They first told them their decision, and I don't know what else was said after that. When they were done with the call, though, their faces were pale, and they had been relieved of their positions on the council. I'm sorry, that must have been a big blow to them. They're going to ask your mother for permission to move here after they go back and gather up all their stuff. With you helping your mom, they don't see a way for the council to succeed in taking this domain from her. Yeah, but I can only keep helping her for another couple of weeks until our bond is completed. I won't be able to help her after that, right? You might still be able to send her energy. She began slowly, elongating the words. However, no one but me will be able to take it from you anymore. I don't know. Again, half of what we know from the rumors and books seems to be wrong. According to what my mom originally told me, once our bonding process got started, the amount of energy you could pass to other people would grow smaller. Has that happened to you at all? Jack thought back to when he had helped his mother each time and shook his head, his brows furrowed. Not that I can determine anyway. But that does present another problem going forward. I still can't control my energy enough to start sending it to anyone on my own, yet. I've been depending on you and my mom to start pulling on it before I start doing anything. If she can't even touch it, then I won't even be able to do that. We'll figure things out in the morning, Jack. I just wanted to give you an update and tell you what was coming our way. Mom and Dad have already decided to stand here with your mom and your family. We'll be staying so we can figure things out together. A chill ran through him at that. He hadn't even considered the possibility that they might leave. It had never come up in any of their conversations before. Right, well, I guess I'll see you in the morning. Night, Kaitlyn. He hung up as she returned the farewell. He dropped the phone onto his desk and leaned back in his chair. A ripple of stress ran through him, causing his skin to perk up in goosebumps all over. Mom? He called out. We have a problem. He wasn't going to wait until it was too late to help her reinforce all the domain spells this time.